Jerry Lane Enterprises and Courtesy Motors present Paradise, Louisiana. With Gary Risponi and Don Dubuque. Paradise, Louisiana is also brought to you by Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Vinny's Car Wash and Oil Change, Always Fresh, Never Frozen Raising Cane's, Louisiana Fish Fry Products, Dimco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, Pro Drive Outboards, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana, and Rouse's Markets. You're either local or you're not.
Welcome to our October edition of Paradise, Louisiana. Here we are at Rouse's again, and Don, I got my Cancer Awareness Month. It's October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We got the Ladies Rodeo coming up this weekend. A lot of things are going on in the outdoors. When we get to event calendar, it's unbelievable, but we had a great week. We had an action. Finally caught some fish.
Yeah, fish are biting. Weather's very pleasant to be out there and get into it. And it was a great opening weekend conditions for those guys with the bows, looking for the deer. Squirrel hunters, some rabbit hunters got out there too. It's really been good, and hopefully we can hang on to this weather for a while.
Yeah, I got some reports about the deer hunters, but they were hunting in bucks only area, and they had does all around.
That's
they
the way it
just
goes.
couldn't let it go. They couldn't just let it go, but they had a lot of deer in the woods and a lot of does. They didn't see any bucks, or they were still cautious. So one way or the other. Don, I made a trip again with Trinity Outdoors. One of the legendary captains right now donated this trip with Dudley Vanderboer. In Lake Pontchartrain, we're leaving out the Wrigley's. Two young men that you're gonna fall in love with. One of them was the first fishing trip ever. The other one fishes in the Grand Isle area a lot with his dad and his family. But just to watch these people, how they go about doing it. One of them got to ride the boat, and that's all he wanted to do. So we got some great footage on that. We got we made a trip back to Dudley's camp where he got those trained
the big garfish. Oh, they must have loved that.
Some pictures. Huh? Oh yeah, he was gonna let them catch one, but I think they changed their mind. They saw their teeth. I don't know if they wanted to catch them.
Those garfish can be intimidating.
And then we had another Trinity Outdoors, sort of a recap. Jason Bland and his crew. By the way, Jason was on this trip too, on a fishing trip. But Jason has traveled so much in the other states and everything with these physically challenged kids and these soldiers that he kept, and he edited a little tape and a little recap of the Trinity Outdoor hunt. So we'll see that.
All right, very good. I've got a trip, went to one of the places. If you're looking for some solitude this time of the year, Grand Isle's a pretty quiet place. You went down there, and we'll see that next week. But I had a great trip with Captain Darrell Carpenter, catching some speckled trout, keeper trout, under the birds, which you usually find in the springtime. This is on the reverse side.
And I'm going to talk more about that. You wouldn't believe. There's people fishing, but it is so quiet. If you want to fish the beach, they had people fishing in the surf. You know, it's not cold, and they're out there. And even if it gets cold, you wear them waders, it's a perfect time. You have no place to find a place to stay. Most of the restaurants still open. It is the perfect time of the year to go to Grand Isle. I know with all the floods and stuff, some people might need a getaway. That's where they ought to go. So I can't wait to see your footage.
All right, that's coming up. We're broadcasting today from Rouse's, the brand new store on Airline Highway in Baton Rouge. Gorgeous store, and you're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Courtesy's got your truck, man, so get yourself a deal, man.
Courtesy Automotive is one of the largest and most experienced automotive groups in the South. Courtesy is the clear choice for all your automotive needs. So whether you're looking for a Ford, a Chevrolet, a Ram, Toyota, or a GMC, Courtesy's got your truck.
A big truck, a small truck, Courtesy's got your truck, man.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
All right.
Ask me about my Tempur-Pedic.
Ask me how fast I fall asleep.
Why not talk to someone who's sleeping on the most highly recommended bed in America?
Ask me about staying asleep.
Tempur-Pedic owners are more satisfied than owners of any traditional mattress brand.
Ask me how it feels after 10 years.
Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America.
Ask about Tempur-Pedic at Olin's, where you know you always get the guaranteed low price. Olin's is the only store in Baton Rouge and Lafayette with the full line of Tempur-Pedics. Who doesn't want to save money on fuel? Now, Shell and the Fuel Rewards Network are putting you in control of how much you pay for fuel. Simply buy whatever's on your shopping list. Clothes, groceries, even dinner out. And earn cents per gallon savings at participating retailers nationwide. Now, fuel prices are in your hands. So why wait? Sign up at fuelrewards.com today and turn shopping power into saving power.
Visit Cracker Barrel convenience stores before heading fishing or hunting. We have more than you expect.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. And Gary, as we talked about, Grand Isle is a very tranquil place. Much different in October than what it is June, July, August, even May when all the rodeos are going on. Quiet place, you got access about anywhere you want to go, and the fishing can be very good for redfish and especially those speckled trout. I went with Captain Darrell Carpenter, RealScreamers.com, loaded up with some of the most popular bait this time of the year, those cockahoe minnows. Very good bait. Those you can use pogies or live shrimp if you got them, but they really do like those, and you can use them for either one, for trout or for redfish.
And they're tough.
They are very tough. If you got a compromised bait well, they'll last and make the entire trip. What we started off doing was scouting for birds. We were finding the feeding flocks of birds. Whenever we saw birds, we got up on them, and of course you're going to get some of the trash fish in there, some of the catfish, the gaff tops, but there was an amazing amount of speckled trout in there too. And wherever you saw birds, as long as you could hold on to them, you would find them. They were mixed. There were a lot of release fish and no big fish. But a lot of good keepers mixed in. When we finished getting the trout, then we decided on the way in, make a stop along some of the tight marsh areas and fish some of the redfish. And ended up picking up a few redfish, but of course when we're out there doing that Fish and Game report, we're limited on time. But it was a beautiful day, wasn't a cloud in the sky, had a little bit of a nip in the air, you know, in the morning when we were headed out, and then warmed up to be a really nice day in a really nice place for fall fishing, Grand Isle. Oh, I have a double here.
Let's hope. We can only hope.
All right, double redfish. Now, if you've been into the redfish rut, get ready because we're approaching the month of October when it's known for redfish action. But if you want to catch some specks, we'll show you how to do that too.
Well, you know, I would almost consider us lucky today because we're fishing the day behind a cold front. But right now we still have plenty of bait in the marsh. The trout are actually ganging up. They're transitioning and coming back into the marsh. So they're in that middle stage and they're ganging up all over the bait. You just got to find where the bait balls are. And uncharacteristic of what it normally is in the spring, where you're catching a bunch of small trout under the birds, if you find birds working, a lot of times we've got keeper trout under them right now.
He might be a boxer.
Hey, today they were 12, 13 inches. Last week everything was 14, 16 inches. So it kind of varies from day to day. And if you're on a school that's nothing but little throwbacks, leave. Leave that school because they typically gang together by size.
Yeah, that's a keeper. He's invited to the little party tonight.
Well, it's going to take for the water temperature to drop a little bit. We're still up here running about 84 degrees right now. So the water's still really good and warm. Therefore, the bait and all still here. It's going to take that water to drop into the low 70s. And about the time it drops in the low 70s, the trout are going to go into your deeper holes because there won't be nearly as much bait.
So when you go?
Well, usually Grand Isle through Thanksgiving is a really good fishery for trout. I mean, fall is so underutilized. But depending on what kind of winter we have, is usually through Thanksgiving. Last year with that mild winter, it lasted well into December.
Oh, another speckled trout that'll keep for tonight.
Ready?
Yep.
Coming to the middle.
All right, now as you can see, we're both using the same bait, soft plastic under a light jig head, but I'm using a cork. Daryl's fishing on the bottom with a jig head just like mine. Either way, you can catch the trout.
Now, you know what, a mob used to always come down here. It's just there's nobody here this time of the year other than an occasional crabber or an occasional work boat. It's strange to run across a boat in this marsh this time of the year.
Oh yeah, you gotta love Grand Isle as we head into the fall season. Lots of trout. Not the biggest trout you'll ever find, but lots of fun. This news. Got another one, Daryl?
Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change has been keeping cars and trucks in Baton Rouge clean and running smooth for over 50 years. At Benny's, we feature professional car washing, complete detailing, high-tech waxing and buffing, interior cleaning, and tire shine. Benny's, one stop for car maintenance with complete oil and lube services and even state inspections at our express locations. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations, including our newest store on Greenwell Springs Road. And don't forget to stop by Be Quick Convenience Store and Fuel Stop. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Drive in dirty, drive out clean.
Combo, please.
At Raising Cane's, we do one thing, and we do it better than anyone else. So why not let our food do the talking?
Love in the window.
Raising Cane's, only the best chicken finger meals. One love.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. Gary, you got to spend some time this week with two of our really good friends, Captain Dudley Vandenborre of Captain Dudley's Charters and V&G Lures. Famous, his name is on the bait, the Deadly Dudley, and also Jason Bland with Trinity Outdoors.
Jason Bland been at this thing now, I think 10, 11 years, you know, and he puts this, he's a fundraising guru. I'm going to tell you what, he tries to, but more people are calling him now, so he likes to give us credit. But if you notice when I got him on camera, he wants to thank the people that sponsored the trip. I got to say, Jason, you're missing that one time. But if you work as hard as Jason does to doing this and putting these trips together, you know, where he gets sometimes a little stressed because he's trying to put it all together and it depends on other people. But Jason, this is a shout out to you. You do a tremendous job. Keep it up. When you go home, you get so tired, go to sleep. You know, he was affected by the flood. It was under his house, his boards are coming up, but he puts those kids and those soldiers first, and he's always had people that are physically challenged. He's like a magnet, and he gets them, puts them together. Last week, you see what he did with the soldiers, with the alligator hunt. This one, and then later on, we might have some pictures of some of the hunts up in Mississippi and other states. So, Jason, this is a shout out to you, but you could not put 2 fine young men in the boat with us, and you can't find a better captain on Lake Pontchartrain. So here we go with another one with Trinity Outdoors. And remember, Jason's going to talk. He's going to thank all those people. And if you want to be part of Trinity Outdoors, you'll find out how to get in touch with Jason.
I'm Matthew Nemo.
I'm Martin Aycock.
You're watching another Trinity Outdoor adventure.
Going fishing this morning with Matthew Nemo and Mr. Martin Aycock from Prairieville, Louisiana. Go to Dutchtown High School, and we want to thank Deadly Dudley and all Miss Kim and Paradise, Louisiana, and Mr. Mike McCullen and Mr. Donnie, who actually provided the trip for these kids. We'll mention them later on, but thank them for going ahead and providing this opportunity for these kids.
We'll have a good trip. We'll have fun.
Amen.
He's been fishing nearly all his life. He's even got a fishing wife. His dad and his son, they all catch some with Dudley. I seen him by the Wrigley's late in the afternoon. Caught 2 10-pound specks on a beach over in a blue moon. He's Deadly Dudley. Deadly Dudley's the name. Deadly Dudley's the name. Fishing's his game in the Pontchartrain. I saw him fishing with Don Dubuque
I tip up and reel at the same time.
Deadly Dudley's the name. Deadly
Look,
Dudley's the name.
Oh, no!
He got one.
He
got one, guys.
With you, Martin.
Good job. Nemo, what you got?
Boy.
Look at that. What kind is that? That's a croaker.
This we get you to talk.
Hey, boy.
You hear?
Hey, boy.
Talk to you.
The fishing man. He never says too much. You learn a lot if you hush. Everybody knows no live cocker holes with Dudley. And he's Studley, Dudley. Studley Dudley's a name. Deadly Dudley's a name. Fishing's his game in the poncho train. Yes, he's Captain Dudley. Deadly Dudley's
Well, you got an incoming tide, which isn't our best tide, and over that way they had a bunch of croakers that were stealing our bait, so we just made a little bit of a move. Hopefully we'll find a little better fish here. If we don't catch them here, we'll go back in the river, try to catch some big fish back in the river. But basically move because all we were catching was small fish.
Dudley is his name. Deadly Dudley. Deadly Dudley's a name. Deadly Dudley is his name. Deadly Dudley.
Speckled trout.
Speckled trout.
You excited?
Yeah.
Fishing on Lake Pontchartrain. Deadly Dudley. Deadly Dudley's a name.
Look here.
Oh, here it is, right there. Oh, it is. Watch it, watch it.
Get him off the string.
Watch it.
Got a
Hold on.
catfish, man. Got it.
Oh, my God.
An awesome job, very proud of him, but that boy loves to fish. Give him a boat any day and he's ready.
He's ready. Good deal.
Having a lot of fun. Thank you, Trinity Outdoors and Mr. Gary and Mr. Dudley. Y'all are awesome, y'all all rock. We having fun.
Oh, it was great, man. Thanks to Mr. Mike McMullen. Thanks to everybody at Trinity Outdoors. A big thank you to them. A big thank you to Mr. Mike McMullen.
How many fishing trips you made in your life?
None.
This is your first?
This is my first one.
Tell me about that first fish you caught. What kind it was?
It was a, I don't know what kind it was, but it was big.
It was big? I think it was just the opposite. That was a croaker, the first one you caught.
Croaker?
Yeah, that was big. Tell me what about this trip. What you like the most about this whole trip?
The boat, because...
Riding the boat, huh?
I get to drive it and put a lot more miles on it, because...
You ready to go again?
We're ready to go again, hit land and drive home.
Oh, no, you ready to go fishing again. You want to come fishing again some another time later? You think you can get into fishing?
Maybe.
Maybe? Well, you're being honest. Okay. Now tell me your name.
Martin.
Martin what?
Acock.
Martin, you've been the top fisherman all day.
Yes, I have.
And you've been catching by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
This ain't your first fishing trip, though. Where you fish mostly?
Grand Isle, Louisiana.
Yeah? What part of Grand Isle? What you fish for? Speckled trout, redfish, or anything?
Red trout.
You caught a smorgasbord today. You got a grand slam almost.
Mm-hmm.
Cajun grand slam. You got a speckled trout?
Yeah.
You got a redfish?
Redfish.
And a flounder.
And a flounder.
It's pretty good. And a croaker.
Mm-hmm.
So you did a grand slam today.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think about Mr. Jason Bland. He's a troublemaker sometimes, but at Trinity Outdoors, they put on a good show, huh?
Mm-hmm. He's a good guy to me.
Mr. Donnie Coggle, thank you so much for providing this trip for these young men. And Mr. Mike McMullen, you guys were a total blessing today.
Did a great job.
What? He did a great job. What about Mr. Dudley? He let you drive the boat. He the one running you. Now you want to be a boat driver and a NASCAR driver. Huh?
NASCAR.
Yeah, I don't know what you want to be.
Thanks to Mr. Mike McMullen. Everybody.
Well, we got to thank Mr. Dudley and Miss Kim for providing this trip. We got a mess right here with the fishing rod.
Come on, real hard, real hard. You got to real fast. Keep going. Keep going.
I don't know if he's coming.
He's coming.
He's
really real.
Oh, look at that. Look at the spot. Look at the spot. He multi-spotted. That's a trophy, boy.
Come on, buddy. Get it. Say all right, go.
Tell him, Mr. Dudley. That's
awesome. Good job, Nemo.
Nemo, look at the spot.
Look how pretty he is.
What?
Man.
Oh, my God.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Hi, I'm John Jackson, and you know we always say we gather our groceries out the bayou. Whether it's freshwater, saltwater, catfish, redfish, you have tons of choices when it comes to fish in Louisiana. But when I fry fish, there's only one choice, and that's Louisiana fish fry. My new favorite, the Cajun fish fry, has the perfect amount of cornmeal, corn flour, and the perfect mix of spices that really bring the heat. Hey, if you're craving Cajun, go look for the bright red bag at your local grocers. Bring home the taste of Louisiana with Louisiana Fish Fry.
My name is Paul Sweeney. I'm from Lake Arthur, originally. I'm homeschooled, and I just killed my first two. A tractor accident. I was 2.5 years old. I was playing in the bucket of a bush hog, and with my brother at the time, but he got out, and so I was just there by myself. And he was my grandfather who was driving the tractor. He was going out to the back of the property, and we don't really know how I got out of the bucket. I mean, it could be a number of ways, but somehow I did, and and I spent 2 weeks in intensive care at Texas Children's Hospital. And from there, probably 4 weeks after that, I got my first prosthesis, which this is my 10th one now. This is, see, I like black, so.
Pull him slow. All right, there he is. One more time, he's gonna run. Get another bullet in. Wait, let him stop. You hit him a little higher, a little low there. Let me have it. I'm gonna come right here to you. You can't see his head.
Where's that book?
There you go.
Oh, ow. Put one more behind his eyes.
Wait, let me get him a little.
Right behind his head.
There you got it. He's a solid eight. More than I can handle.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, man. That is awesome, dude.
You excited, bro?
I'm off what you doing. Excited. Oh, yeah?
Let me have that rifle.
Oh.
Good shot! Good job, Lee. You got it.
Dropped her.
You dropped her. You got her, Lee. Lee, you got one.
I feed her now.
You're a big girl now. You got it, Lee.
Yeah, and I got her.
Good job. That is going to provide so much meat for your family. Huh?
Yeah.
You excited?
Yeah. No, I think that's it.
I think you need to get Miss Darlow on camera right here. She's been in the backstage and back here.
Okay. Good job. Good job.
Is that awesome or what?
The best ever.
The best ever.
We don't have to look for her. She's right there.
No trailing?
No trailing. Oh, it's kind of fun, but...
Girl, you dropped that baby in her tracks.
Mr. Michael said, send me some pictures. Awesome.
Let him go that way a little bit. You got him again. You got him again. You got him. That's awesome. Oh my God, you got your big bud. He's gone. He's gone. Oh my God, you're so... You got him. He's laying on the field. That's awesome. Girl. Oh, you got your big deer. You got your big deer. Thank you, Jesus. Oh.
Is that fun or what?
Oh, we laid him down on that second one though, girl, at about 200 yards. Oh God, thank you, Jesus. Oh my gosh. You six. Oh. Give me a kiss. All right, brother. You got your trophy. You got your big trophy. You got your trophy. Look at Daddy. Daddy's coming in here. Daddy. Oh, Daddy, come see. Come see, Daddy. Oh, Daddy. You got it, baby. You got it. We can make all the noise we want. You got a big one. Well, that's right. You've been waiting a long time for this, huh?
Yes, I did. I've been waiting a long time for this.
You've been waiting a long time for
I
this. Oh, boy. You got him.
Who doesn't want to save money on fuel? Now, Shell and the Fuel Rewards Network are putting you in control of how much you pay for fuel. Simply buy whatever's on your shopping list. Clothes, groceries, even dinner out. And earn cents per gallon savings at participating retailers nationwide. Now, fuel prices are in your hands. So why wait? Sign up at fuelrewards.com today and turn shopping power into saving power.
Visit Cracker Barrel convenience stores before heading fishing or hunting. We have more than you expect.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Courtesy's got your truck, man, so get yourself a deal, man.
Courtesy Automotive is one of the largest and most experienced automotive groups in the South. Courtesy is the clear choice for all your automotive needs. So whether you're looking for a Ford, a Chevrolet, a Ram, Toyota, or a GMC, Courtesy's got your truck.
A big truck, a small truck, Courtesy's got your truck, man.
Welcome to the Outdoor News segment brought to you by Flambeau Outdoors, the makers of the 2U Vision decoys. You can't tell the feathers aren't real. Let science seal the deal, as they say. Gary, we got quite a bit of news going on. I attended a meeting a while back in reference to those rocks across the Mr. Go. There's been some claims that that has brought about the demise of not just the speckled trout fishery, other species of fish, crabs and shrimp in the Lake Pontchartrain area, because it's not allowing the natural flow, that circular motion of that water. Warren Delacroix is kind of heading that up. A lot of the fishermen are involved. They brought in the Lake Pontchartrain Basin Foundation, Wildlife and Fisheries Corps of Engineers, and it looks like there may be some wheels starting to turn about getting an opening put in those rocks to restore that water flow. That won't adversely affect coastal restoration or hurricane protection, so that'll be good news.
You explain a little bit more to me, because when they did this, the tidal and all that, but it would still stop the tidal surges, and
it stops normal tide water flow from coming through. But when you get a storm surge or an extremely high tide, it goes over the top of the rocks or it goes around the side. So there's nothing that it does in a positive way. But there is some reports and some studies that's been done that shows there's some dead water there.
Will there be any boat traffic, small boats, big boats?
And that will allow traffic to go back in there, which would be another positive thing. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to take a while.
No big.
Oh no, ships have definitely been banned from the Mr. Go. Another item, we've been talking about the closure, which we thought was temporary on Elmer's Island for vehicular traffic because of the restoration of the sand dunes. I tried to get someone from the coastal group, the CRCL, the Coalition to Restore Coastal Louisiana, to give me some answers way on. Was this going to be permanent or extended? And I got silence. Now we get a notice that they're going to continue to keep the vehicles from driving on there Don't know if it's going to be in perpetuity or if
Coming
this
from
is a
Coastal
temporary.
Erosion Protection or come from Wildlife and Fisheries?
No, this is coming from the authority over that now is set by the Coalition to Restore Coastal Louisiana. Wildlife and Fisheries implements it, but they're not the one that set this regulation. It's up to them. So that's another issue. Third,
how can the public out there, because there are many people who are going to be very disappointed.
Well,
you know,
there's a
we
couple
bought
ways
it,
you
we
could
did
do
it like that, but who can they notify? Just to sound that. I understand we don't know for sure if this is going to be permanent, but it's like you said, it started leaning that way now. That's going to be permanent. Now you can walk anywhere you want on that island, you know, to get where you want, but that's a long walk. So a lot of people fish those cuts and those other places down where you can see the bridge. Now, we know we were so excited about them saving that island and buying that island and under the certain regulations. And one of the regulations I don't blame them, the litter. Litter got bad. They solved that problem. The Grand Isle people and a lot of the CCA divisions down there in Jefferson Parish, they take care of that litter. But I'm a little concerned, Don. I don't know whether we just sit and wait or what.
well, to answer your first question, if people are opposed to it or they support it, first one to go to is the Coalition to Restore Coastal Louisiana. Since they are investing in it, they now have the authority to either open or close it to vehicular traffic. Another way to do it would be legislatively. You can contact your legislator. I can see both sides. Certainly you don't want to rebuild and restore something and then drive on it and destroy it. That's counterproductive. But at the same time, there's going to be people who can't make those long hikes to get there to enjoy that island. And for those people, maybe there's some concessions there. I guess the reasonable
But
thing
I
to do...
don't see where a vehicle, if you're done right, you know, riding in, they make that solid road, make a road a little further back. I didn't see where all these years that it tore the island up.
Well,
the only thing I saw was the litter, and a lot of that litter comes from offshore with batches and different pieces of wood coming off of ships and plastic bottles, you know. But a lot of them were beer cans and stuff that was brought on the island.
Litter's not the issue. The issue is access. And, you know, there may be some compromise they could do where they'll provide a certain pathway where they'll allow vehicles that could be maintained and not drive all over the dunes causing an erosion problem. So we'll see how that turns out. The last item of news we want to talk about, people have heard about the CCA Star Tournament. We're getting ready to have the banquet coming up here in Baton Rouge out at Live Oak Arabians. And the question was going to be who is going to win the overall biggest speckled trout. The lady in question that caught it did not pass the polygraph test. So CCA, sticking to the rules, say rules are rules. The rules say you have to be able to pass that in order to collect the prize. She has been disqualified. The second place winner will now undergo polygraph testing, and at press time, that hadn't been done yet. If he passes, he'll pick up the biggest speckled trout prize.
Also, the truck.
The gentleman that caught the first tagged redfish has decided not to accept the award, the pickup truck, for whatever reason there. So
that's it.
There it
on
is.
the news we got a lot of events coming up. Look at the event calendar. We didn't run longer than we're supposed to on this news segment. So just read the event calendar. There's a lot of events coming up in October and the first part of November.
And we'll be right back with the Berkeley Abu Garcia Fishing Report and its fall hunting report too. Right here from Rouse's, you're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change has been keeping cars and trucks in Baton Rouge clean and running smooth for over 50 years. At Benny's, we feature professional car washing, complete detailing, high-tech waxing and buffing, interior cleaning, and tire shine. Benny's, one stop for car maintenance with complete oil and lube services and even state inspections at our express locations. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations, including our newest store on Greenwell Springs Road. And don't forget to stop by Be Quick Convenience Store and Fuel Stop. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Drive in dirty, drive out clean.
You catch any fish?
This is the world famous Captain Kim Guzman Jr. I'm just Captain C.T. Williams, and you are watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Louisiana. Stay tuned.
Ask me about my Tempur-Pedic.
Ask me how fast I fall asleep.
Why not talk to someone who's sleeping on the most highly recommended bed in America?
Ask me about staying asleep.
Tempur-Pedic owners are more satisfied than owners of any traditional mattress brand.
Ask me how it feels after 10 years.
Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America.
Ask about Tempur-Pedic at Olin's, where you know you always get the guaranteed low price. Olin's is the only store in Baton Rouge and Lafayette with the full line of Tempur-Pedics.
This is our love, this is our life, this is our home, Louisiana. This is our day, come what may. This is our song, forever long. This is our home. This is our life, this is our home.
At Rouse's, we love food as much as you do. That's why it's no surprise our chefs aren't the only cooks who work here. Rouse's butchers know how to select, trim, and cook every cut we sell. Of course, our produce experts are the very best in the field.
And on the field.
And you can always count on our seafood department for the best catch.
Heads up, Brandon.
The best quality and the best price is why the best chefs and cooks
shop and work at Rouse's.
Small game resident.
Yeah, residents?
Residents. Residents small game season.
There we go.
We need to go over those real quick.
Obviously, this year, it's kind of unique for us because it looks like squirrel season is going to be a little bit longer than normal because that opening Saturday, it's always first Saturday in October. Well, that happens to be the first day of October this year.
Right.
So,
which is going to put up in the woods at the same time as bow hunting.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Normally,
normally bow hunters got 3 or 4 days,
Yeah.
up to 7 days,
right,
before they've got to contend with a squirrel hunter. Now, listen, that's one thing that you need to keep in mind too. When both of you have different agendas, both of you want to be successful, but the main thing to remember is the safety at that point. When you've got 2 different sets of wooders in there, hunters in the woods, wooders, yeah, and they're eating camo ice cream.
It could have been worse.
Yeah, you got 2 different.
And they visited David Oliveris or whatever.
Avalay. Also opening on October 1st is rabbit season. It runs the same length as squirrel season, October 1 through February 28th. Quail season opens November 19th through the 28th.
Whoa, something's wrong.
Oh, that'll
here.
be a bunch of fun.
Okay, no, I see it's right.
Quail hunting in Louisiana.
Yeah, that's probably not a popular sport in this area. It used to be big in North Louisiana, didn't it?
That's quail is in singular. We've got one.
That is true. That is true.
What else?
But that's it as far as small game resident hunting seasons that are coming up. So just kind of letting everybody know what's happening.
Did you hear the public forum on Lake Bistino? Did you hear what happened?
No, I did not.
Okay, I was wondering because Eccles, you pretty well stay on top of this. Do you know if they where they are on the Salvinia discussion?
One of the guys in the blind this morning talked about it, and I think it was depending on what side of the fence you were on. I'm sure the people putting on the forum thought it was a success. The people that went to the trouble of driving down there didn't feel like they got a lot out of it. They did mention that somebody is supposed to be working on a new oil-based chemical spray for the Salvinia that they're getting excited about. I'd like to find out something about that. There was still some complaints in them delaying the drawdown of Bistino. They're supposed to have started
it was like first week of August.
Yeah, first week of August, and it was postponed until the end of August, 1st September. And a lot of people in the forum said it was political. Just a few people wanted it. I contend that it probably was political. A few people complained that they couldn't ski or jet ski on the lake if they pulled it down, so they kept it full a little longer. But I also say it really didn't matter.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. Drawing it down the 1st of August or the last of August is not going to have any bearing on the Salvinia. It's not normally. It's all the way down by now, and it still lacks about 1.5 feet of being
Well,
drawn.
let me tell you where it's at. All the Salvinia, even though they're flushing Bistineau, all they're doing is sending it down river, literally down Red River from Loggy by south. Red River is an absolute force of Salvinia.
Really?
It is places.
We don't care as long as we get it out of our lake.
Places, it's all the way across the river, all the way across.
Wow.
And
welcome to our world.
Is it moving at all?
Yeah. My point is,
well, because when it gets
no, it's not moving because the river's not moving at all.
When you get the confines of the river, the wind really isn't a variable anymore.
No, wind will push it from one side of a pocket to another, but
north
on the main river,
north or south wind on the river is wide open.
Yeah.
But how often do you have a straight north or south wind this time of the year?
We hope to have one this weekend, but
most of the time it's out of the southwest this time of the year.
Yeah.
And that's really a quartering wind unless you've got a turn in the river. We are hooking up and tracking down every Wednesday, 11 to 1, and then again on Saturday mornings from 6 a.m. until 8 a.m. right here on 1130, The Tiger.
And we want to thank the crew from Hook 'em Up and Track 'em Down. If you want to visit their website, it's hutd.net. And you can stream the show live there, watch past shows, and you can listen to them on the radio if you're up in the Shreveport area, KWKH, 1130 a.m. They come on from 11 to 1 every Wednesday. And on television, you can catch their show at KNTS TV 17 in Natchitoches from 6 to 8 p.m. on Wednesday evenings. Gary, our fishing report, you saw what we did in Grand Isle down along the coast. We got a little bit of a spike in some trout activity. We're kind of getting more and more into that transition time. We caught those trout very well up into the marsh. We're going to continue to see that. I'm getting similar reports from southwest Louisiana. The fish are starting to make the move there. Hopefully, we're getting close to World Series and playoff time. That's when the speckled trout, if they're going to show and coming, will be in Lake Pontchartrain.
Well, I did the same thing last Thursday. I was at Grand Isle. We went out of Sand Dollar. We was two people that was using the trip, one by Edwin Edwards, his mother. Edwin Edwards, the grandson of the former governor, and the guy that went to school with you, Buddy LaSalle. So next week, you stay tuned. You'll see them. We're Tommy Vidrain, known as one of the best big fish fishermen and one of the group of some of the best fishermen in Grand Isle because he goes all the time. He knows the area. He knows what baits to use. He used them all. He caught them on tsunami. We caught them on top water. So be sure and stay tuned next week. But if you want to know where we're fishing right now, the rock broke bad that day. I don't know if it was lack of tide. There was a lot of trash fish around. There's been a lot of mangroves being catched on the rocks. I've seen everybody around there with fishing. They're catching those mangroves that size. Now, the limit on mangrove size is 12 inches. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But I kept seeing those little ones filleted as good as they are. You wonder about it. Let me tell you this now. When you go to Grand Isle right now, if that north wind is blowing, you want to go and get in front of the island, in front of the rocks. We were down by the old Wildlife and Fisheries headquarters. The old green had fallen down, they're abandoned, and the fort right between them cuts there. Middle of the day, everything. We catch them on top, catch them on plastic, opening night. Now, that is a first-hand report. I promise you, they were still there because all weekend he was sending me pictures. He was fishing by himself, fishing top water in the same baits. Live pogies, live shrimp, free line.
I'll tell you, the sleeper of the week for saltwater's got to be Lafitte. Tofield Bourgeois told me Lafitte was a 10 last week. Areas around the Wrigley's, Bayou P Road, Little Lake, most of those there, Bay Round, those areas are really holding a lot of speckled trout. So that's a place that has really come on strong if you're looking to get a little fall fishing in, and it's not that far from Grand Isle. So you can maybe even make a run north if you're not finding fish
well,
there.
Historically, this time of year, when I first started fishing the marsh, it was in Wonder Lake. It was down in that part of the thing. And it's all those of Lake Barre and all them people right now where their fish are on. Let me tell you what, people in Port and Shane have been sending me pictures. They're using live cocker holes, and they're using the same thing. Small black topwater baits, especially when the tide is going down and it's starting to get a little overcast. That topwater bait is unbelievable, a little small one.
Well, Gary, I got to tell you, some of the best fishing all year long right now, the basin, Chafalaya Spillway. When it's down, the weather's comfortable, a lot of people are going, and a lot of people are catching plenty of bass.
That makes me sad. Nobody asked me to go yet. I heard, not rumors, I heard, seen the pictures and everything, people catching sac-a-lait in the Sorrel area. My good friend James Campbell, Southern University, him and his buddies were over there the other day. They were using black and chartreuse and blue and white. Now, and China. But my buddy I told you, over there at Tony's, he told me to go to blue and chartreuse for some reason, that blue. And I can remember Billy Lyons fishing for brim and sac-a-lait in the spillway and down the marsh. He wouldn't use nothing but a blue on a beetle spin or on a jig head. It was so blue it looked almost purple, but it wasn't purple. That is the color for some reason this time of year. They love them. I don't know why.
Tube jig, blue and white, blue and silver has always been my favorite. A couple other areas worth mentioning: Venice, downriver, starting to catch a lot of bass down there. Be careful, though, we're getting close to that time of the year where that gets put off limits because of the duck season. You're not going to be able to allow it to go on the Delta Refuge. Another place, the Zalmans, is really making a strong comeback. You know, it was down for a while, but I'm getting better bass reports there. And Lafitte, we talked about the speckled trout. There's also some pretty good bass fishing in Lafitte. In the marsh areas there, one of the things you need to try to do there is punch in the mats in that grass, and that's going to be the way to catch the bass.
You know, the Delacroix right now, you can cook. You got a boat that can pro drive or type of gate tail, whatever you want to use. You go fishing that. If you bring that boat, you can get in there where that grass is. You can catch on a frog, on spoon, and everything. Catching bass. They even punch in that grass. So they're real with small worms, small plastic, crawfish type bait. But the bass are outnumbering the speckled trout, and that's crazy because that transition right now. You know, last week Todd told us that, talking about Todd Mason, told me they're going through transition. Them fish are turning on in Delacroix too. Don, you know, we can go to freshwater. When we're talking about the spillway, the Red River. I had a couple of reports, people said fishing the Red River, but I told you everybody's hunting out there. But with the Red River coming up, I got news from the high school to qualify. The Bass Nation High School qualifier going to be October 15th. It's going to be at the Carfax Landing on the Red River. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting more and more reports from up there. And Toledo Bend is a host for the Kayak Bass Fishing Open October 14th and 15th. Now, a lot of these things are going on. The top 25 finishers qualify for the 2007 Kayak Bass Fishing National Championship on Kentucky Lake in Tennessee in March. So I wanted to get that news out while we had a fishing report. The marsh, Bar Black, they still catching fish at Bar Black. All those places I'm talking about right now are still hot. But let me tell you what, and I'm not talking about weather hot. This cool weather's going to turn them on. But you got to catch that tide moving. Got to catch the tide moving. Moving the water in the Chapel Spillway is everything. Cooler water is moving water. And then even if we're going to come up to 90 some days, that water gets stagnant, you can still catch fish. You're going to catch your big fish off a drop off, cranking a crankbait around that, or throwing a regular spinnerbait and slow rolling spinnerbait.
All right, also want to remind folks, if you're a member of a high school fishing team or you're the director of one, Team Berkeley has got this Team Red. They've got a program of support. Contact Gary at Paradise, Louisiana, and he can give you the information on how to find out more about getting some help and support for your club from Berkeley.
You can contact Berkeley itself, too.
All right, also want to remind you, send your pictures in, as you always do. Tell us the who, the when, the where, the what. And remember to turn that cell phone sideways if you're using a phone to take those pictures. Fits our screen.
Y'all been doing a good job. Keep it up.
All right. Don't forget about the deer if you're an archer. And also we're taking squirrels and rabbits.
You know,
the hunting
real
season's
quick, you know, deer, I got some reports, I told you at the beginning of the show, of people bow hunting, and they were out there and seeing a lot of, they were in areas that were bucks only, but you're seeing it. But what I didn't get is the squirrel report. Now, my yard, squirrels everywhere. Squirrels everywhere. I see them, but no reports.
One thing I want to remind folks, too, if you're going to be out there hunting and you're using a squirrel dog or rabbits and you're using beagles, be careful of the snakes, not just for the dogs, but all for yourself. This time of year, snakes get very active. It's not during the hot weather, certainly not the cold. Be careful. You're looking at a picture of one of my beagles. I had two brothers, Amos and Andy. This is a shot of Amos, the red beagle. He got hit right in the side of the lip by a cottonmouth while we were rabbit hunting. Swole him up. He didn't die. He survived it. He got fluid underneath him, and he was miserable for several days. But if you can possibly avoid it at all, make sure you take care of your dogs. And watch if you're sitting down squirrel hunting where you put your feet and your hands and your other body parts too.
You're going to have people walking like they ain't going to never see a squirrel.
Yeah.
They're going to be...
Well, you got snakes on the ground and those banana spiders there, so you got to be careful when you're out there. All right, we'll be back again next week with another edition of Paradise, Louisiana.